Alright, I'm going to try to show how to create some additional cut and fill geometry in this model. The workflow might be a hair different than how I did it in class, but hopefully you'll be able to follow along with this video. So I'm creating a guide layer and switch to top view. And the idea is to draw out and plan the lines that you, for example, for the pathways, as well as any other landscape features. And you'll notice that I'm making sure that my lines project beyond the model because I want them to trim cleanly later. Just drawing pattern. Here, this idea is maybe there's like a patch in between the paving or the hardscape. And I'm going to complete this so that it's a complete shape. And maybe over here, this will be a fill element. Okay. Let's put that over here a little bit. Okay, so back in perspective view. Alright, so those are my lines. I'm going to, so the key thing here I have my solid chunk. I want to replicate this top surface. So I'm actually going to type in the command extract surf with the option copy equals yes, so that I can duplicate the top surface. Let's bring it up here. And now I can take my lines and project them onto that surface. I'll type in project, select that top surface, and there they are. So actually looking at this, I think that works. So let's say one of these will be a cut, maybe this set of pathways. The other element will be a fill, which will be this shape. So let's create both of those. So here I'll type in trim, select my line work, enter, and if the lines kind of extend cleanly, then you get a nice clean shape, and it should trim successfully, which is good. Now extrude surf to give it some depth, which I could just snap all the way there, and then sink this in a certain amount. Guess you could be deliberate about it, maybe -1. Actually, I'm just going to do a little more. This piece, I'm going to do extrude curve. Right now it says solid equals yes, right here. And so this will be a piece that I want to Boolean union, whereas the other one was a Boolean difference. And here I can see that kind of having it embedded into the ground. So the first command is Boolean difference. Select the site, hit enter, click the object, hit enter, so that got cut out. The other operation is Boolean union. So select both of these. And so now these are cut and fill operations. This I can delete. Alright, so the next step will be the contours. So I'm going to make a new layer called contours. Okay, make that the active layer. Alright, so now I'm going to contour it, choosing this edge to indicate a vertical direction, 1 foot. Alright, so that got contoured in 1 foot increment. Alright, so now I'm going to delete all these extra layers below and scale this collection. So I'll type in scale. Click on this base point, 1/12. So that is now converted from feet to inches. Over here, I'll have to scale this one down by 1/64. Enter. Quite a bit smaller. So check the distance, the length of it. So this one is 3 inches. That is 2 1/4 inches. Quite a tiny chunk. Alright, so the last step is to move these each of these contours apart. I think in class I did, I typed in 3 views so that I could see it from here, from the top view and the side. So over here, so I'll select it in top view, go over to my front view, the zoom selected, I can zoom right into it. And in class I was showing how to select them and then move them out to kind of separate them, which you can do. But I also created a script, a Grasshopper script, so I'll just type in Grasshopper, go to open, choose the script called Contour Width Displacement, open. And here this should do it for you, so you'll connect your lines here, set multiple geometries, and just select all those, enter. You can see that these are getting kind of displaced. You can control how far apart they are with this slider. Just kind of bring them back. And you'll see that, yeah, those are all the pieces. So there were some islands and so forth, so those things are also likewise getting separated, so you'll just have to keep track of what's what. But hopefully that just makes that step a little bit easier. So what you should do after that, oh, and that, by the way, these 2 options, this is moving them in the X direction, or you can also choose them to move them in the Y direction, depending on how you prefer. Same thing though. Alright, so last step, come over here, bake, click OK. Now I can close this, and these are now baked objects, and actually I think they're all in the, no, they're kind of still elevated. So to make them all flat, just because it's good practice, you can select them and type in project to C-plane and say delete objects, yes. Oops. Project to C-plane. Delete input objects should be yes. Let's see, where did they go? Oh, and you know why? Because the C-plane is actually quite a bit further below, down here. Zoom in here. If I do a rectangle, to see how many will fit on a sheet, I'll type in 18 inches by 24, and I can see that I can probably fit a fair amount onto one sheet, so that'll be a little bit quicker the process. I'm pretty sure I could fit almost all of them on one sheet. And okay, so that hopefully would take you a little bit less time.